this podcast. And likewise for Noah, I mean, how was school for you?
I would say I had like a pretty decent time. Elementary school is when I kind of did like my shenanigans. Nothing comparable to some of the weight chuck and drop and some of the knowledge and some of the no. It is what it is. But I mean,
More times around the moon, player. That's all.
I know.
Or around the sun.
Well, yeah, moon and the sun, whatever you want to call it. He's into astrology.
That's just part of the ESL upbringing.
I mean, there is definitely an age gap here too, also, right?
Oh yeah, he's the kid I should have probably had if I could have.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was good. Like, I academically did really well, so I got really good grades. Both my parents pushed me to do that as well. My dad was very much like, it was the household where if I got an A minus to one point, they'd be like, "Is that really all you could do?" Like, not like in a bad way, but like, in a pushing way. Once I look at it, and I'm like, okay, well, at least they care. So at least I had good support there. I did go to college for a whole year, Cal State Fullerton, engineering, and then I was like, okay, it's not really what I wanted to do. At that time too, I kind of was in coffee from a friend who is still in coffee. Corey, I'll shout you out, whatever. He's over at a Golden State with someone who I also was a bigger mentor to me, which is Jonathan Sepulveda.
Ooh, the homie.
Yes, and he's working with Corey's working with him right now, and they're doing their thing over there. So those two, if Corey didn't introduce me to coffee too, I probably would have kept doing a lot of it was fun to do dumb shit, but it wasn't productive because of I didn't know I had academic strength. I felt like I was wasting it. So like coffee helped me like put science, art from the creative side, as we know, like latte art, and then beyond that, like design, even creating like roast profiles, like what I do. That's the art in itself, cooking. All these different things just bunching up and really like honing down on me. It's like, okay, I should be doing this rather than anything else. And I knew better too, but I don't know. I felt like I didn't have a lot of, I was pretty shy. I'll say that. So academically I was strong, but socially I was pretty weak. So that kind of put me back a little bit. And I think that's like a lot of people feel the same way once I found out. So I'm pretty chill and like, I don't know, I keep a really small group of people I talk to. Only probably reveal this is during a podcast. So I mean, like, it's kind of where I'm at here. And I'm kind of glad that I could ask some of my experience and I can close it up with, I'm definitely still learning and doing a lot of new things. For instance, I just bought like 16 different pots to clone some kale, clone some chives. That's where I'm at in my life right now. So yeah, and here we are, just living life.
Which is the reason why this works is that like, so socially I'm where he's not, and academically I'm not there at all. That was a dumb fucking school. Like I learned everything by ear.
Yeah, it's the whole yin yang part of it.
Yeah. So it's just like I mean, even to I think always like just encourage is like find people that are better than you in other things, because they're going to help you be well rounded, but also that like it creates like this very organic dependency of each other, that it's like we all want to feel needed, and it's like if you can find people that are better than you in other things, like you're going to end up needing them, and then you find how can I reciprocate that, and maybe there's something I'm good at that you need, and I want to help you, so.
And again, fast forward to what is it, 2-3 years now with the business, and now we have a team member because without good people, Mary wouldn't be part of the team.
That's true. I mean, Noah and I were friends before good people. We always had an I see you too kind of like respect, and honestly, and I tell this to Noah, privately, but I want to take this opportunity to really share this publicly that like. I always looked at his skill as like, yo, man, this kid is so above everyone here in LA. And he had a style in his latte art that was like, yo, man, this can fuck with everyone. Let's meet Mary, and then I want Noah to talk about our wholesale conversation yesterday.
Welcome, Mary, and yes,
Hello,
would
hello.
you elaborate on you working at Good People, your experiences, and how you grew up.
How I grew up in the streets, JK. Honestly, I grew up in Silver Lake. I had it pretty okay, you know what I'm saying? But I've always like loved, I guess like the first coffee job I ever got. Regardless, I always wanted one because I always loved coffee. So I was like, I want to know like about it. All the latte art too, I thought it was cute. So I was like, I want to be cool like them.
We're not that cool.
No, but I thought it was like cool.
Way
I was
more
just like,
introverted.
yeah, honestly. But yeah, dude, I've always like been into coffee. Loved all my coffee shop jobs. Kind of, you know, lived and learned with some of them. Learned a lot. I feel like it's so awesome, like working at different places or like have worked in different places because you get different experiences. People run things differently. It's really cool. But yeah, like right now I'm just chilling. I'm not in college. I just went to high school and that's it. Like from there I was like, okay, I'm done with school. I can't do this. Shoddy is not for me.
Hey, I want my money back, believe me.
Yo, literally, that's what I'm saying because like I thought about that like a lot, like money wise. I'm like, yo, am I gonna be paying for something that I'm gonna like end up dipping out on? Like I saw most of my friends or even like siblings like just going to college, like not knowing, thinking that they know what the fuck they want to do, and then just end up like switching their major and shit like that, and just having to start over. And I'm like, I'd rather just save the money, the time, and just like kick it, live and learn, and like be like more street smart. I guess.
I honestly had the same experience where my family obviously doesn't come from money, or we had no resources to get money to go to college. So the idea was actually to go to work after high school, save money, and then eventually attend college. But that never happened. 8 years later, I was like, yeah, I'm not going back.
Yeah. I feel like you don't
Or
need
even what
to.
to for. If I gave you $80,000, pick a major.
I really can't. Yeah.
The world is moving too fast.
Yeah.
Sorry, I want to get back to Mary, but this is I went, you know, I had a lot. Luckily, because I kept a good grade point average, I had like a lot of these like Cal grants and stuff like that, right? But even then, with that free money, I was so unhappy. Yeah. I was stressed doing something that I should have liked doing because it was gonna put me at a higher salary mark, which led to a better life and all these things that your parents usually want because they didn't have it. And it's like that right there is like, okay, you want the best for me and I want to make you proud, but we have to come to a compromise and understand that like as long as I'm doing my hustle, whatever it may be, I'm not hurting anybody, and you know, like I see you from time to time taking care of myself, then we should all be happy. But I feel like that's a very different perspective of the pressure at college. Like people sometimes have it out, good for them, and sometimes the people know what they want to do. You know, not to shut that down, but like, to touch on what Mary said about that. People go into college and sometimes they're in there and they feel like because they're already in there, the money's already drawn. They already like put a fragment of their soul into it. It's like they're like, I have
already.
to. Yeah, like I must have to. I'm already paying into it. Yeah.
Nope, you don't.
But yeah, that's that.
You also were saying that you fell into this coffee world because you were attracted to the visual part of it, which is the latte art.
Yeah, and the taste.
And what about, so speaking of taste, when would you consider you having the first sip of coffee or tasting what coffee is?
Like what real coffee is?
Well, I
Or
mean,
just
define what real coffee is for you.
I was being cracked out on café con leche when I was 5.
Ooh, I love that
Correct.
shit.
You
Yeah,
know?
because I mean, I think to a sense, most of us, like especially Hispanics or Latinos, grew up with that kind of
hell
like
yeah.
café de olla with a lot of milk, you know, canela and
Oh yeah, café de olla.
sugar
all
and
that
stuff.
shit,
So yeah, I mean, but I guess for us at that time, that was coffee, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so-
But like when I got to know coffee, I mean, like I guess I had this one coffee shop job, like honestly, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe. It was my second one, and it was the first time that I ever had to get steam trained. Like the first time I was just making shitty milk, I guess. I was like, damn, RIP to the people who have to drink my shit. Probably got a burnt ass latte, made it extra hot. Yo, like milk was off, you know. I'm not saying it's perfect now, but we okay, we decent.
Also, worst combination: thin, bubbly, but hot.
Oh no, baby, none of that. But there is like when I definitely got more like knowledge of like coffee. Even then, like some, I'm definitely learning more from like these two like and everything. I'm always on Instagram, like looking up shit too, or Google. But yeah, like I got my first like run through of what like espresso should taste like, kind of like dialing in a little bit, the milk, texture, like all of these things. And then I kind of was like, damn, I thought it was just fucking coffee. Like I was just like, give me the drugs. But honestly, like there was more to it. Like when someone was actually like speaking to me as I'm tasting it and like walking me through it, I was like, oh shit, I taste it. Like I taste what you're talking about. And like, I was like, damn, is this a mental thing? But I'm like, it's crazy because you just like shattered the glass for me. Like,
Correct.
you just like said like, okay, this is what you're gonna feel. Kind of like you're being hypnotized or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was, you can say I was hypnotized by the coffee.
When you came by the space, and I think you saw Noah and I chatting with a couple. They're wholesale clients of ours, and we have been meeting with him now for, I think we've had 4 meetings with him. Cupped coffees, loved it. We're getting a really good opportunity to help convert a restaurant that was focusing on a cocktail program into more of a breakfast brunch spot, focusing on coffee and environment the way the owner originally wanted to. And he's had such great experiences at Good People that he wanted to bring his wife. And she was sharing with us how much she loves the idea behind specialty coffee, but often feels when she walks into coffee bars in LA that she feels dumb. And that this is a woman with an extraordinary culinary background. This is a woman that can you give her a sauce, she can tell you exactly what's in it. What are we doing wrong as a coffee industry that we can take a person with that kind of background and expertise and make them feel dumb? And that's very heartbreaking, because there's 2 perspectives. If you care about coffee, why would you want to make a gate around the appreciation of it? And as a business owner, I would say, why would you want to make a customer and potential friend feel alienated when we're supposed to be the industry of inclusion?
Correct. The whole community, bringing communities together, you know.
The foundation.
And when she asked me, like, well, you know why I wanted to do coffee, and to kind of even like tie into what I was telling you in the beginning, when I looked at specialty coffee, I looked at it and I said, man, y'all got it 80% right. There's 20% that's missing. And the 20% that's missing is really remove the exclusion. You know, what Noah was saying, the questions of asked, like, I you know where I learned that? I learned that at Georgia Porgy's. I got the opportunity to work at Georgia Porgy's when they were starting off. And Chris, amongst the amount of, my motherfucker thought he was Tony Montana. That's all I'm going to say. He's like, this is why I fucking hate specialty coffee. Fucking hate that shit. Why can't you just like be non-pretentious? And he's right, you know? And in working at Georgia Porgy, I developed a vocabulary because there was no menu there at all. So you walk in and you're like, well, where's your menu? What do you want? You want something hot or something cold? And that's where we would start off. And then from there, I'd say, do you like something black or do you like something with milk and sugar? Do you like something with a lot of milk or a little milk? And then from there, I'd craft you something. I knew what I had back there, even when I started Good People. Like, the only 3 things on the menu, it said pour over, cold brew, espresso, and milk. Because I didn't know what the fuck these people drank. Yeah. So I was ready to be here and craft a drink based on this line of questions. So that when you walked in here, the place is eclectic. Mm-hmm. The music is hood. You know, but then it's like, but then you get hit with this hospitality of like, you didn't need to know. Like, my job is to ask you, what drink can I put in your hand that's going to make your moment? That shifts the entire experience. And I think that there's probably just too many people now in specialty coffee that feel they fucking deserve some kind of like trophy because they're in specialty coffee. Like, nah, man, you still fucking serve coffee. And I personally believe if you're not growing it, exporting it, roasting it, or serving it, then you fucking useless, man. We don't need you around. Like, go wash some dishes, bro. We need some barbacks right now.